Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are we are I'll get my hair straight. We are going to talk today. This is the second part of the podcast of our weight loss encourager for 2024. As you know, I have on my shirt 2024 weight loss. That's my shirt. Big basic. 2024 weight loss. All right. My dial started around right at 300. See that? My dial started at 300. And so now I'm going to be wearing a shirt that has, I'm having one made where it is at the where I want to be at the end of the year. But I'm close. So I mean, my journey really started before this, with the 300, me being at 300 pounds. But I had him put the dial a little less than 300 because I was at 300. Um, and so now that I am getting to the next, he's going to make another shirt for where I am at the end of the year. That's why I'll be celebrating what my on the scale where I've moved to. So I'm excited about that, but I wanted to go ahead and talk about the second part of the podcast that I wanted to share with you. This is a midweek, like a midweek encouragement for you for weight loss encouraging for this September. And I wanted to first say that on this journey, I'm thanking God for the opportunity to have the faith to trust the process of being able to uh, finally address this area of my life that has been a part of my life for years, and that I can also take this moment to be able to be an encouragement to you wherever you are in your process on this journey as well. So we want to one thing that I wanted to keep um, in the forefront is that we are on the journey, and with this weight loss encourager, what I'm doing with you is just sharing, and as I go through the process, and hopefully will be an encouragement to you, but also that I'm this particular weight loss encouragement is using your faith to lose the weight. And so we're really losing the weight through our faith, but we're also addressing the weight, not the pounds that we have. We're addressing the weight of life. When life happens that cause us to use food or to become an addict of food or to use the food as our means of comfort or foundation to to set to appear to satisfy emotions and things that are happening in our lives, and that's how we deal with it. But technically, I wanted to make sure you understood the basis of this weight, me as a weight loss encourager, because I'm using my faith this time. I've lost, you can go listen to some of the other previous podcasts where I'm very open about the fact that I've lost weight before, a lot of weight throughout the years, but I didn't keep it off. And now this time it's like no more on the cycle, not come off the cycle, not stop the cycle, destroy the cycle completely, where I'm not addressing this anymore. And I'm actually coming back into alignment by how I was created. My body was created for such a time as now. So I wanted to make sure that you're aware that this is a faith-based weight loss encouragement. Hopefully, you'll be encouraged to this. One of the main things um, that are motivating is to glorify God for the process and His unconditional love for you on this health journey. Because without Him and Him being able to keep you throughout the process, I know me, um, I, I I am so very grateful for His mercy, for His grace, and for His endurance with me over the years. Every second, minute, hour, days, years that I've been walking in this process and have not totally, completely had authority over it, which He's already given me the authority to do. Also, we want you to know your worth and enjoy the transformation. It is a process. As I mentioned before, whatever the goal, your weight was, you know, your weight loss journey goal was at the beginning of the year of 2024. All we want to do is make sure, I don't care if it's just 1 pound you lost, that you lost something, you're not at the same weight that you were before 2024 as of December 31st, 2024, when we celebrate that. But know your worth and enjoy the transformation. That means even going through the process, one thing he taught me throughout this process is that it's not how much I think I want to weigh or how I want to look. It's all about how I see myself as far as the understanding of why it is so important to stay healthy inside and out, and the different patterns and behaviors that I have um, needed to address and or incorporate in my life to leave the obese lifestyle and get into just basic lifestyle. And lifestyle has challenges, but I chose to use food to deal with my emotions, my challenges, and life when life happens. And so other people choose other things, but I did that. And so now I'm coming to grips with that and appreciating the fact that I have time to get it right. Also, and when I say that, meaning that he knows I've laid before him and said, look, this is not what you intended. I know. This is not how you designed me. I know. This is not supposed to be my frame. I know. But I am now saying, I'm giving you what you gave me so I can look like how you intended for me to look like, because I changed the model. You didn't change the model. I changed the model. And I used my food addiction or my dependency on food or my using food for my emotions and everything else to change this model over time and became comfortable in it. And then I went through this cycle where I would get comfortable in it, go on the diet, lose weight, go all of these different things, and then come back around again. Um, Whether it was in years or time, whatever the time period was, where I'm back at the point, or even greater. Usually, I ended up gaining back even more. So we want to remember your goal is to get closer to your faith and exercise your faith in this area 24/7. So for I started to use my faith and I started to incorporate it sometimes every second of the day, every minute of the day, every hour of the day, whatever, and recognizing those circumstances too, where I was challenged and being able to know that and be able to combat that with his word and combat that with everything that I needed in order to rise above whatever those processes or those periods were in my life so that I could go forth and be productive from a different standpoint. But when I talk about the transformation as well, the one thing that he taught me, I want to finish this thought, is that he made me go to the mirror, look at myself, and tell me, and even go to my closet. I was like, well, I'm waiting. The key said, no, no, you're going to love yourself. The key this time is to love yourself right where you are. I don't care what has happened, what has been historically, how successful you were before, what worked before. We're not going on a cycle. We're destroying the cycle. So now what I need you to do is me first, the purpose by which I created you. You need to know that. Know your destiny. Know your purpose. Know what gifts, what talents, what skills. What is your contribution to the advancement of His kingdom here on earth and throughout the world. So when you get into that aspect of who you are and why you were created and your purpose of being here, it takes totally a different turn, or it takes totally different weight than just life happening, because everything's directed towards whatever that is. And I'm discovering even more. I've discovered so much more about me, so much about what has been hidden is coming to light now. The things that I used to suppress, now I'm open to the not even knowing that I'm on a path now, or what I never considered. When you're in school, you said, "Oh, I want to be this, I want to be that." Those are some things I did say I want to be, but I'm understanding that with everything, those desires that I have for what I want to be, what I really want to do is be in alignment, right alignment for what I'm supposed to be doing. And now I'm discovering so much. And it does include some of those things that I said I wanted to do. So it's very interesting how this works. And But try new approaches. I want you to try new things, whether it's exercise, dieting, clothing, etc. We'll go back to where he said, love yourself where you were. So when it came to the clothing and the closet and everything that I wanted to do and, just try the image part of it, I was challenged to love myself right where I was. So, excuse me, at 300 pounds, 300 plus pounds, I had to look in the mirror honestly, even though I know I wasn't supposed to look like that. But I had to love myself right where I was and see my worth right where I was and know that my transformation was happening. But it didn't change the essence, the real reason why He created me and all everything that He gave me, by which to live and to be an asset, um, and to be a major contributor is is not lined up with the weight. It was in the who I was in Him and finding myself even more in Him and recognizing and discovering even more gifts and things I didn't even know I had. Things I'm doing things now that I never that was not on my list. That was not what I intended to do. Um, there's a lot of things that I'm doing now that's really, you know having my eyebrows go up and me looking like, really, I'm doing this? Wow. So trust the process. Trust the process. Try new approaches. With another thing I learned outside of him saying to me, excuse me, for knowing myself and loving myself right where I was and accepting that and embracing that. If I never change, he said, if you never change, love yourself right where you are. 'Cause I did it. I changed the model. That's not how my frame is not how he made me. I changed it. So, but love yourself right where you are because you're there. So when you love yourself right there, then you start looking at other things other than just the weight. You start finding other things out about you. You start seeing other things about you. And then the self confidence and the motivation to do more and to be more starts and then it starts to take residence, I say, in the process of the losing of the weight as well. And so when you're trying, when I say that to say, when you're loving yourself right where you are as well, there are new approaches that you're trying. There's different things, whether it's your exercise, your diet, clothing, etc. Celebrate your small successes. Don't look, oh, I want to be 100 pounds. I wanted to be 100 pounds like 2 years ago. But that's not what this was about. This was about me getting there on a path and doing a timeline that was in time with the favor that I have under Him for being able to know that this wasn't just for me either. That's why I'm sitting here talking to you because this was not what I planned to do. To be, I'm more laid back, personal. I'm good. I don't have to be seen and all that. But this is just my journey and me sharing and hoping to be an encouragement to someone and you have your journey and hopefully something I say inspires you for your own. Now and then at the end of the year, we are going to have now and at the end of the year, we are going to be celebrating our big celebration, of course, as we mentioned, for that we're not going to be the same size as we were, the same weight as we were at the beginning of 2024, our ending of December 31st, 2024 will be different. We will be smaller, whether it's just 1 pound, I don't care. But whatever that is, and so you're not too late to start for you who are just now seeing this. You can go back and look at some of the other podcasts, but if you really want to join us, then you have 3.5 months to go ahead and get whatever that is for you, whichever method you choose, but to go ahead and make a commitment to go ahead and not come out of uh, 2024 higher or the same weight that you were when you started. And if you were higher and you gained weight, then whatever the weight you are now at when you start now with the 3.5 months left, you should be less than that, and that should be the number that you should be working from. Um, I wanted to say that I mentioned in the last podcast that I am one of a pray, meditate, faith. My meditation is usually just really a refocus of focusing rather on who I am in God, how his son died on the cross so that I may have life and have it more abundantly. I really believe that. And that he said he would leave him, Holy Spirit, who leading God into truth, and I am being led. I get an unction of different things I should do, shouldn't do. I am definitely being led through this process. And because I know that all these years I haven't been strong enough to keep it off. I've been strong enough to get it off. I mean, in other words, I've never not lost. It's just that why am I back at the point or greater than I was before? So now this is like a healing balm for the rest of my years. This is a healing balm that shall take place, that I will live the way and look the way He intended for me to look outside of the food addiction, outside of the obesity. And so I am a worshiper. I love music. Music really helps me a lot. And so we're outside of the meditation. And my meditation is not doing any kind of chants and all that. My meditation is being still. Sometimes my meditation is playing the word and just listening. I hear so much that I have not heard before. Sometimes it could just be not playing any music, not playing anything, but just sitting still, just being still. And I get a lot of uploads. I call them uploads. Also, it could just mean my music. Well, in His Word, He says there should be hymns, psalms, and spiritual songs. You can look that up. In the Bible, it says there should be hymns, psalms, and spiritual songs. So there are certain hymns, there are certain psalms, and there's certain spiritual songs, which are songs that people create now um, that um, that really are inspirational. I created a song that says, "Arise to your destiny, arise to your destiny," and so I that's just the first two lines. Um, and vocally, I'm tired right now, so I'm not going to even try to sing the rest of it, but I will one day get it all out. But um, but it says, "Arise to your destiny, arise to your destiny, for my spirit is in you." But I also like to go online, so I'm gonna tell you. I want you to go online. I'll tell you at the end of the songs that I want you to look on YouTube that really kind of inspired me and have encouraged me throughout my process. So worship Him, find those hymns, those psalms, those spiritual songs that give you motivation. And there's some songs secular too, because I remember I used to sing this I if I can get this out. I believe that children are our future. And in the Bible, God says unless you become like a child, you can please Him. So I believe that childlike faith, that's part of this journey as well. He'll take you to that childlike faith. You have to have a childlike faith to go through this, because if you try to use anything else, I promise you, you'll get off course. You really will. You'll sway a little bit. But also, you want to bask in that meditation and in that time with Him. You want to bask in His mercy, His grace, and unconditional love, because you must realize, like I did, that because I've been in this journey for so long and in this condition for so long, that now I really see His grace. I really see His mercy. I really see how He's kept me. When old people used to say He's a keeper, they I understand why they say that, because He's been keeping me, for sure. He's been keeping me, and I just don't want to take any further granted him any more for granted for what He has blessed me and covered me with so far, even in the midst of my addiction, in the midst of food addiction, in the midst of the lifestyle of obesity, in the midst of yo-yoing, going up and down and all of that, and allowing it to impact really my destiny for why He really created me, and not being confident in who I really am. And so, do not look for others to validate yourself, was one of the other things I wanted to make sure you are very much aware of. When He says love yourself right where you are, He means it, and He means it without anyone else. I don't care if you're married, I don't care if you're children, I don't care who it is, best friends for part. This has been solo for me, and literally. And I believe there's a phrase in the Bible where He says He will hide you in the cleft of the rock. That is so true, because I feel like He separated me like He did with Moses and some of the others. He separates you, and it's like he wants to keep you in this sterile environment, so to speak, so that your ears hear clearly what the Spirit of the Lord, is saying to you, the church, that your eyes see yourself into His eyes, that you hear clearly. Also, that you speak His word, that you speak what He says about you, not what other people say about you, that you have the mind of Him, the mind of Christ, that you have the affections of Him for life, and for the support of who He is in your life. You have the heart of Him. You have the heart of God. You know the heart of God and His heart towards you. These are all of the things that you will discover and appreciate, and continue to experience on the journey. Also, so do not look for others to validate yourself. And even if they do, I mean, you can appreciate it, whatever, but you don't put a whole lot of weight on it. Because I found that people will validate you today and talk about you tomorrow. I mean, it's just true. Or they say one thing and they really mean another. It's just the way life is and how people are. So this particular journey is just for you and Him. It's just for you and Him, taking you back to the Creator, the one who thought about you before you were formed in your mother's womb, just between you and Him. And He knows. And so He has given us the ability. He says He's given us the ability to get wealth. Well, the wealth of health, He has given you the ability to have. And you can have that based on your faith and your believing, and totally depending on Him. This is between this relationship, this journey, this this whole move is moving forward, is between you and Him only, between God and you, no one else. Because when you get before Him, He's not going to talk about the other people around you and what did they do and how they impacted you to cause you to do the things that you did to stay in the condition of obesity or food addiction, whichever one applies to you. He's gonna look at you and say, open up your book and your name written in the book and what you did. And there is not one person I could ever say that actually put food in my mouth to make me eat the things I did, or make the choices that I made with food. But most important, it's not even just that, the timing of when I was doing those things. I can tell you, I was an emotional eater. I ate my emotions, and so those were just one of the things. But there's some other things, how I carried, the negative things in life and all of that. I found out it was a false sense of security. It's just food. It's go pass through anyway, but it's going to stay too if you don't get rid of it. And you got to watch what your appetite is. I started learning that what my appetite was for, and those are the things I had to start moving out. I had to fast to do that. Sometimes when I come off the fast, it was waiting for me, like, oh no, you want this again. And I had to go. So I'm just saying that you will learn your journey. You will learn what those triggers are. You will learn your journey. You will learn. And then eventually you'll get to the point where that's not as important. I was eating it for the wrong reason. So if if you receive compliments and encouragement, that's good. But the main reason you're doing this is to show, remember this, is to show Almighty God how much you respect and honor His creation of you. That's the most important thing. You're giving Him back the creation of the mainframe that He established for you. I remember, and I said this in another podcast, I'm not sure where it is, but I remember doctor saying, if you look at your hands, or if you look at your body frame, it was already established how much weight you were really supposed to be carrying with the frame that He gave you. And I'm so far off. Like I said before, I've been carrying two people. My body was not designed, my frame was not designed to do that. But I did that based on the choices that I was making and how I allowed myself to do that. And then the going up and down, losing here, then gaining back, losing here, just throwing the body into just a total disarray, literally, over the years. And I love Him more than that. I love more the fact that He knew me, and the reason why He wanted me here, and what I'm supposed to be doing was not supposed to be dependent upon the way in which I processed life through food. So I had to come to grips with that. I had to really deal with that. And even to this day, I still have to. Um, I mean, I had a trigger today. I'll be honest with you. I really did. I knew what it was. I said, oh no, I didn't. I did that before I knew it. Didn't really want what I had, but just it was just like a temporary trigger. And then I and then I started trying to flush water and stuff down my system and all that to say, okay, well, now that means then tomorrow I'm going to do extra in my exercise to make up for what I just did because it was for the wrong reason. But at least I recognized it. I recognized it. So give him back his the frame that he established for you and what he intended to be on your frame. He's the one who structured for your body when he created you. So you really want to be in alignment with that. Love his creation of you for real. Now that's the key one right there. You know, I used to compare myself to people a lot when I was younger, especially in that peer group in school and whatnot. All the little thin women and my thin friends and thin girls always had the boys. I didn't have that. And so I did try to compensate for that void by through, when I was singing and, other things that I was good at, I made up for that. And that was my own inner motivation. But I had to really, a lot of times, look in the mirror and love his creation of me. Now, I'm going to tell you about this journey because I'm close to having lost 100 pounds. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be open to you. One of the adjustments that I'm noticing that I am having to address, and I'm saying this up front for you who's starting on the journey or whatever. If you've been on it as long as I have, many of you hopefully not, but if you've been on it as long as I have changed a lot of what in other words, my body form and structure is different because it doesn't look how it should have done if I didn't have the weight. If I didn't have the weight, I wouldn't see what I'm seeing. And so then now I have to psychologically, mentally accept the responsibility of what I've done in changing some things and knowing I'm gonna have, some scars that I created as a result of living in this lifestyle. And those are what I have to come to grips with and deal with because it's there. It's true. I'm gonna lose the weight, but it doesn't mean I'm not gonna have the manifestation of that weight having been there and what it has done in a sense to the body with the skin and all that kind of stuff. So that's some real talk. I'm just letting you know. But one thing that he has assured me is that the healing is more important, and that will take care of itself in its time. Be open to his uploading creative ideas and for various aspects of your life, because what you'll find as you stay on the journey as well, he'll even give you the foods that you should eat, or he will put you. Sometimes on my phone, I'm not even. I haven't looked at anything particular, but then I'm gonna get on my phone and all of a sudden, someone will be on there talking about this food, or this food will help, and what this food does for your body, and now I'm learning more. Not just that, even medically. I go search and I'm looking to see, what helps with this, and how do I minimize my carbs, and what are the best carbs. And I remember I had, excuse me, a medical procedure, and the doctor who did my procedure said, a medical testing procedure, and he said to me, "You have to eat for this particular body part of your body." And I was like, "What does that mean?" And then he told me, and I said, "Well, how long?" He said, "For the rest of your days." I was like, "What?" And then I went and started studying and well, Googling, and it was right there, like what he said. Certain things, certain foods are imperative for different parts of the body, or healing part of the body, or making sure the function of that part of the body is good. And so I encourage you to find out those things if that applies to you. Um, Another thing that I had to learn on this journey as I get closer to my goal is for one of my goals. I have two goals. So the first goal is to you'll know by December 31st that I would have reached this really main goal that I wanted. And then after that, if not before then, Probably maybe next month I'll be celebrating that, but um, if all goes well, I can celebrate that next month. But right before Thanksgiving, I want to be celebrating that I got there, and then even more after. But um, forgive yourself. Forgiveness is like a dose of medicine you will use throughout the journey, the weight loss journey, because you have, even though you take responsibility for what you did, you have to be able to forgive yourself for what you did so you won't feel comfortable going back to it. That's what I learned. So when I went through the forgiveness and asked him forgiveness, and then I forgave myself for the, then those triggers weren't as, didn't have as much power, and I didn't have the desire that I had for the things that I used to have, because I forgave myself for allowing those things to have much more weight of how I used it, that being food, and how I processed life using food. That now I'm more grounded and rooted in knowing how um, I need to be able to understand my journey and understand. So you will get challenged. So you've got to, and I'm just going to say this, most of your challenges will come from people and even yourself, because let me say this, I think I've said this also in one of my podcasts. Watch out for the word sabotage, because you can get so close to your goal, you don't even realize you may even sabotage your goal before. I mean, when I think about it, I should have been here a long time ago. But there are times where I'll just, something will throw me off. It could be something as simple as what someone said, or how what somebody said to me, or I get stressed down too much, and I go back to the very, you know, think not to the degree that I did, but I will go back maybe and eat this or do something like. And so now I had to challenge myself to forgive, forget, and finish strong. That's where I had to maintain a lot of my focus. And the Bible talks about whatever you bind on earth, you bind in heaven. Whatever you loose, that's go open up that scripture. That's there as well. And so I really had to start looking at that more in this condition of obesity and my lifestyle obesity, and calling things down and calling things up and speaking things forward and believing things forward, even if I couldn't see it at the time. Like where I am now, I couldn't see this at last year or at the beginning of the year. This is going to be, when I share with you, this is going to be a really pretty something journey. But as far as timing, but his timing is perfect. I got it. I'm in it now. I'm in the mode of it. I'm in the healing mode of where I need to be, and that's good. I just wanted to share. I also said that I would share with you some the songs and things that encourage me. So there's a old school. Pastor Dewey Smith is out of Metro Atlanta, um, and so he gets up and sings a lot of hymns sometimes before his messages. So I want you to go to YouTube and pull him up, and he's singing a song that's an old school song that says, "Lead me, guide me along the way." That has been a very good motivation song for me on this journey. And I used to hear grandma and them back in, when I was a kid at their old school, those old churches and whatnot. Where you could, they patting the feet, you could hear that the feet made the drums and all that. And then the people, the motherboard, they over there rocking and all that. Yeah, Lead Me Guide Me was a good one. And so when I found it and I heard it, I listen to him a lot now because he does a lot of old school, and that really inspires me. And it's like the foundation of my faith, in the songs and the words in those songs. And then, of course, like I said, God says there should be hymns, psalms, and spiritual songs. That's in the Bible. Go look that up. But the verse that talks about that. But the psalm, there's a psalm by Todd Delaney. He's in one of the new ones. I think he's been about maybe 10 years. I'm not sure. I think he's a former professional baseball player, but an excellent writer and an excellent song. So he did a song. I will call on the name of the Lord straight. I think he was at Pastor Rob Parsley in Ohio, one of his conferences recently or last year, or I don't know how long ago it was. And he just takes the Bible and he's just doing this psalm, and it says, and so the vamp of the song is, "I will call on the name of the Lord." Listen to that. That would be a good psalm for you to listen to as you go on the journey. And the final one is the spiritual song is Israel Houghton. I don't know. He used to be at Pastor out there in Texas. What is his name? I see his face, Joel Osteen. He used to be minister of music out there, but he did a song called "Moving Forward," and it basically says, "I'm not going back. I'm here to declare to you, my past is over in you." And so, all things are made new. So you need to go listen to that on YouTube. That is a good song of motivation too. And so it says, I'm moving forward," and I just that is like has become my signature this year, because no matter what, I know that I am moving forward, and I take every step, I take every second, I take every moment, I take every breath, and I just thank Him for giving me the ability to move forward through this process and to be a success in this process, to be able to come and share with you. Um, for you doing your own process and you go share with someone else. We're really like a movement of this weight loss and encouraging. I will not talk to you about foods. I will not talk to you about exercising. I will not talk to you about patterns and things. I'm just going to share with you the essence of life and how to move through with your faith and lay aside those weights, whatever that weight is for you. Whether you have to go back like me till I was, a little girl, you know, um, I had to deal with that. I had to deal with my teenage years, my preteen years, being taunted and teased a lot. I had to deal with my teenage years and being, all the things I went through with that. I had to deal with my college years. I had to deal with my even being even being in organizations and even being even a sitting in seats in church, even the stuff that I dealt with, even going through that. I had to deal with all of that, which was a part of my life, my jobs, whatever. There was always something, even when I was out singing, which was interesting. When I used to sing, out at some of the clubs and and some mostly lounges I did in South Florida, the beach or whatever, there was an audience that I had that people really didn't look like me, but they loved my music, they loved my sound, and it was just fun. I had a wonderful time. I met a lot of great people, a lot of great people. They mostly were very wealthy people, but I met a lot of people who were just really genuinely nice to me and just loved the gifting that I had that I brought. So I was singing a lot of jazz, a lot of love songs. That was my genre. I wasn't wanting to top 40. I wasn't wanting to because I wasn't trying to dance a whole lot. I wasn't, but I love jazz. And I love songs. I love seeing the people sitting in the seats listening to me, and I could see their love, and singing the songs dedicated. Oh, it was just so much fun. And what I recognized was that I was good. I was very good. I had offers to go overseas, and um, I mean, I just had some really good opportunities. I didn't go overseas then, but I had the opportunities to go overseas, and people were really, I like I said, they really were very, very nice to me, and I appreciated that opportunity. That was one of my positive points because I knew I had that. No one could take that up from me because that was a gift that was given. So I just worked that. And then in the church, because I was, brought up in the church, that was another gift that was always recognized and known from leadership, from my pastors on down. Um, they understood the gifting that I had even more so than me because I used to go through stage fright sometimes, but it wasn't that. It was just that when I started having that relationship closer, that it was like, okay, I'm just gonna sing to you how I sing, how I feel it. So those were some of the good points of being um, in those in my timing of this music and how it worked with me to get me focused on my journey and where I am and find out whatever that is for you, whatever those whoever your artists are, whatever and share that. But these are the I'm really sticking with the word with hymn psalms and spiritual songs and trying to incorporate those like Grandma Faith where they were anchored. What's the song? My soul is anchored in the Lord. They were anchored and they stayed. Um, you know, lead me, guide me along the way. That's so true, and I need that every second, every minute, and every hour. Sometimes every day. But I am totally impressed with the movement that I'm making this 2024. I've never had anything like this, even through my successes of weight loss, um, carry me like I'm being carried now. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate doing that. That He's keeping me. He is a keeper. You know, grandma used to say He's a keeper. They're right. He is a keeper. He's a great keeper, and He has kept me thus far, and I know He'll keep me forward as I go towards my goal of being in the right frame, my body representing the right frame that He created for me when He called me forth. So I want you to be encouraged. I want you to stay motivated. If you need to, you might have to pull yourself away with this. Um, if you have the opportunity to do that, if not, you have to be your main. You are your main cheerleader. You are your main number one encourager. You are challenging yourself against yourself. You're challenging yourself against the behavior that you had that you know is not good for you, with the behavior that He wants you to have that is good for you. So you're like an athlete training for the Olympics. You're like an athlete training for the Super Bowl. You're like a athlete training for whatever, that you are athletically in your spirit mind, in your body, putting everything in the divine order that needs to be for you to function going forward the way He intended for you to function. And so, in that respect, I believe in you. I know, just like with me, where I am now, and you know what? Let me just say this: where I am now on this journey, don't look for a lot of fast weight loss. I mean, you make it lose it, but He's gonna make you go through every aspect of this journey so that you will not repeat it. Literally, so you and I have not done this way that I'm doing with the word and all. But now I understand, because His word, His word will not return back void. It shall accomplish everything you intend to do. Looking for people to validate me, I go to the word and see how He validated me. When I'm in meditation, I ask Him to show me. I ask Him to um, even chastise me, to hold me in greater accountability. That's what I do for me. So I don't have that support. If you have that support, that's wonderful. If you have that through your mate, your partner, your friend, your family, that's good. I don't have that. I have Him, and Him only, because I think I've been on it so long. He doesn't want anyone else to get the glory but Him, and that's why. And I'm okay with it, because even though I will say I did it, I know that I had to do it through Him. He has to be my anchor. He has to be my strength. Yeah, I have to rely on what He's given me. And when Christ came, He said, He, Holy Spirit, will lead and guide you in truth. But He also said, greater things than these you shall do. This is going to be my greater thing right here. Breaking through, breaking forth, breaking out into what He intended for me without any repeat. That's going to be outstanding for me. And I'm discovering me along the process, and I'm enjoying that as well. So you'll always see me. I always have different looks. And one thing I did do, I started adding more color. One thing I don't, I want to go and challenge a little bit the clothing industry a little bit, because the more obese you are, um, it's more like they want to hide you. And then when I say that, the clothes are just like, oh gosh, really? No, I started, I had to pay a little bit more, but I started finding color. I started wearing colors. He is the creator of colors. The trees, the water is blue. He's the creator of colors. The flowers. I said, okay, I'm gonna start wearing colors. Well, when you're obese, you're taught not to wear color because it makes you look bigger. Look, I'm just gonna look big because I'm wearing color. I'm gonna color my world with His colors through my wardrobe. And then I started noticing that my outlook and my attitude was lifted a lot because of that. So I want you to be encouraged and understand that you are blessed and highly favored, And I just pray my sharing with you is a blessing to you. God bless. Take care. Enjoy the journey and keep Him first. And know that you are a success. You can win. You have, and you're victorious in Him. Take care, and I'll talk to you the next time. Stay encouraged on your weight loss journey. Let's go forward to 2024 with our success on December 31st. Take care.